everybody, welcome to Wild Boy Movies, the place to talk movies. And yesterday was the CCXP Blumhouse panel where they went ahead and gave us not only a new poster for FNAF 2, no trailer by the way, very disappointed, but it's okay because we did get a new trailer, well I should say first trailer for The Black Phone 2, a movie that I am eagerly anticipating, mainly for curiosity's sake, just because of how Ethan Hawke could return as the grabber after what happened in the first movie. I'll elaborate on that later on in this video and speculate how he could be back, as well as talking about this trailer and giving you guys my thoughts on this movie, as well as my anticipation level for it. But be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your thoughts on the Black Phone 2 trailer. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so we've known that a sequel to the 2022 Blumhouse horror movie Black Phone was going to be happening. In fact, we even got some footage description over at CinemaCon this year that I did cover in the Universal video for 2025 CinemaCon. And it got me excited, but the main thing I was curious about with this sequel is how would they pull it off, especially since they confirmed that Ethan Hawke would be returning as the grabber. And well, I'll elaborate on that later on in this video and how they basically could reveal how the grabber is back. I really thought this trailer was amazing. I thought it was a really well done trailer, and this is one of those trailers for like a horror movie that I definitely want to see in theaters. There are like some horror movies that I do want to see in theaters, like The Conjuring 4, but there's really not a lot I want to see in theaters. And Blumhouse did it twice already. They did it with Megan 2.0, which, hey, they also released a new trailer today, and it was just, what did I watch? But give me 20 tickets. But with Black Phone 2, it was just, this movie looks so good that I really want to see this movie in theaters, and I am hoping that I do get the chance to go to the theater to see Black Phone 2, because this movie just looks so good. I mean, right off the bat, I am loving the snowy atmosphere that this movie has, because this movie is going to be set in like a winter camp, and I'm just loving the snowy feel of this movie, and the snow in this trailer is why I chose white lights for my setup. I know back there it looks like blue lights. Trust me, it is white. It's just reflecting off my wall color. But regardless, I am just loving the snowy atmosphere. I don't know why, but I just love like snow in like horror movies, and especially in like R-rated movies. Whenever we see like blood on the snow, we have that in the 2022 movie Violent Night. And I know a lot of fans of the Friday the 13th series want to see Jason Voorhees in the snow. I mean, we already got that with that fan film, Never Hike in the Snow, but that's not really an official Friday the 13th movie, it's just a fan film. But I'm just loving when horror movies can set themselves in the snow, and especially if it can be rated R, because yes, I have a gut feeling that this will indeed be rated R. In fact, Scott Derrickson said this movie will be more graphic, more violent, and more scarier than the first movie. And that director is Scott Derrickson, who made the first Black Phone. He's returning for this one, and I'm thinking that Scott Derrickson is gonna go ahead and deliver yet another good movie. And if this movie ends up being good, at the minimum, Scott Derrickson will be a director that whenever he has a project in the works, I'm gonna be wanting to check it out regardless of like what the plot could be, because I know Scott Derrickson could deliver a good movie. I also do like how Mason Thames and Madeline McGraw are gonna be returning in this movie as the characters of Vinny and Gwen. Now, I do really think that it is a good thing that Vinny is returning, because I do like Mason Thames' portrayal of that character from the first Black Phone movie, and I think he's going to do a good job again here in this second movie. And yes, Mason Thames is also the live action pickup in the new How to Train Your Dragon movie, which is like my only interest towards that movie. And Madeline McGraw, I also think she's going to do a good job in here, just like the first one. And I am also liking like the plot of this movie, where it's essentially like, from what I could tell, Vinny going ahead and trying to investigate a series of disappearances and murders by the Grabber at this winter camp. And you do get some like sequences in here that could be like dream sequences that to me honestly remind me of the Super 8 snuff films of one of Scott Derrickson's other horror movies, Sinister. Now, I don't think that Sinister and Black Phone are in the same universe. I do think it's just a stylistic taste that Scott Derrickson went ahead and took from Sinister and applied it to the Black Phone. And if that is for the dream sequences, yeah, I am down for that because I don't know what it is, but I do like that Super 8 snuff film like cinematography approach here. Like even like this shot of like the cross covered in snow where it looks like in one of the Super 8 films from Sinister. I just really like that shot, and I think it is a good way to differentiate itself from like the regular non-dream sequences where characters are trying to stop the Grabber to like these vision dream sequences that the Grabber will be a part of. Which, speaking of which, let's just go ahead and get right into it. Ethan Hawke's return as the Grabber. Now, if you've seen the first Black Phone movie, you know that Ethan Hawke's character of the Grabber, the main villain, essentially dies by the end of the first movie, and that's where my curiosity for the second movie came in. Like, how would Ethan Hawke's character return? I mean, I figured it would be a ghost just because ghosts and supernatural elements are nothing new to the Black Phone. I mean, the whole plot of that Black Phone movie was Finney being helped by ghost kids from the Grabber's previous victims and helping him escape. So supernaturalisms and ghosts aren't really new to the series, but I do think that the explanation on how Ethan Hawke is able to taunt Finney is honestly just awesome. Now, in order to understand this, we gotta go ahead and take a look at the main primary location of the first Black Phone movie, the Grabber's basement, which we do see return both in the Super 8 dream sequence and the non-regular scenes, where it looks like that basement is just abandoned. But in that first movie, a lot of the Grabber's victims, and when I say a lot, I mean all of them, were killed in that basement. And their ghosts were able to be ghosts because they were killed in that basement. And the Grabber, Ethan Hawke's character, did die in that basement. So it was because of the Grabber dying in that basement that explains how he is able to be a ghost and taunt Finney and basically do some Freddy Krueger stuff. Because yes, this is basically Blumhouse's version of Nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy Krueger. I know a lot of people have been wanting a new Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street movie, especially since the last movie we got, which was the 2010 remake, came out 15 years ago. But the Wes Craven estate is just taking a while for pitches for a new Nightmare on Elm Street. But I am down with the Grabber being essentially this new Freddy Krueger-like killer, just going after people in their dreams. And I do like the shot of the Grabber with his axe, ice skating, like that is just cool. But some of the sequences that we do see of the Grabber going after his victims just look awesome. I mean, we see Gwen in a phone booth where the titular Black Phone will be this time around, and the Grabber strangles her with the phone cord the same way Finney strangled the Grabber in the first movie. And in real life, like, we see Gwen just float up in the sky, and then we also see someone like spin around in the Black Phone Superman style, but instead of coming out in the Superman uniform, blood just spills all over like the glass and walls, and that's just awesome. And I do also really like that zombified mouth that the Grabber has whenever he takes off the bottom part of his mask. That is definitely obviously a supernatural sequence, and no way they're bringing the actual Grabber back to life. It's just his ghost in this movie. And I can't wait to see what else the Grabber will be doing this time around in the second movie. And that generally was my thoughts on the trailer for The Black Phone 2. I'm so now really looking forward to this movie, not just for curiosity's sake, but actually for the movie itself. And I am hoping that I end up seeing this one in theaters. And you know, whenever Black Phone 2 comes out, I'm definitely going ahead and reviewing the first one, so stay tuned for that. And also leave your thoughts down in the comment section of that Black Phone 2 trailer. And while you're at it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. And have a great day.